All right, let's jump right in. We're going to look at a statement today that is, well, it's so bold it sounds almost impossible. It starts with his huge claim of power, but then it takes a turn you would never, ever expect. Okay, so here's the first part. I am the world-honored one. Just let that sink in for a second. That's not a small claim, right? It's basically saying you're at the very top, setting the stage for something huge. And then, as if that wasn't enough, it gets even more intense. I am not surpassed by anyone. Wow. I mean, this isn't just saying I'm great. This is saying I am the greatest, period. No one is on my level. The confidence here is just off the charts. But then, things start to shift a bit. The focus changes from who this person is to why they're even here. The next line is, I have appeared in this world. So, okay, you can feel it turning. There's a purpose, a mission being introduced. And here it is, the grand finale, to give peace to all living beings. And just like that, everything flips on its head. This massive claim of being the best, the most powerful, it's all tied to this incredible act of service for everyone. It's such a cool twist, right? It changes the entire feel of the statement. So you got to be asking yourself the same thing I am, right? Who on earth would say something like this? The beginning sounds like the most arrogant thing you could possibly say, but the ending, that sounds like the most compassionate thing ever. And let's be honest, our first reaction is probably to think, wow, what an ego. And that's totally normal. It's a natural human reaction when you hear someone claim they're the best at everything. So this is the puzzle we have to solve. Is this just pure arrogance? A power trip? Or is there something much, much deeper going on here? Something about compassion and purpose and service. All right, let's dig in because, context is everything. And in this case, the context is going to completely flip our understanding of what these words mean. Okay, first clue, the source. This quote isn't from some modern self-help guru. It's from chapter 5 of the Lotus Sūtra. Now, if you're not familiar, this is a huge deal. It's one of the most important and respected texts in Mahayana Buddhism. So right away, we know we're dealing with something ancient and deeply philosophical, not just some random boast. And the speaker? Well, it's the Buddha. And that changes everything, doesn't it? The text itself even points this out. It says, hey, if anyone else said this, you'd call them arrogant. But because it's the Buddha, it's an invitation to look for a different meaning, a deeper meaning. And once you're in that mindset, you start to see that this isn't about a personal ego trip, not at all. It's about a function, a job, a role, and having the unique ability to actually do that job. So, how can he claim to be unsurpassed? Well, it's based on this idea of boundless wisdom. And this isn't about having a high IQ or knowing a lot of facts. Think of it more like having perfect 20/20 vision of reality itself, a complete and total clarity about how things really are. But here's the kicker. What's the point of all that wisdom? It's driven by something called boundless compassion. That wisdom isn't just for sitting on a mountaintop feeling enlightened. Nope. Its entire purpose, its whole reason for being, is to help every single living thing find peace. The wisdom is the tool, but the compassion is the reason for using it. So, you see the big picture now, right? The claim to be the best has nothing to do with personal glory. It's more like saying, I have a very specific job to do and I'm uniquely qualified for it. It's a statement of responsibility. And the wildest part is, this claim of superiority is, kind of paradoxically, completely for our benefit, not his. Okay, so with all that in mind, let's go back to that final line. Because now when we hear it, it's going to sound completely different. Yeah? See? Now it's not some weird, humble ending tacked onto an arrogant statement. It's the whole point of the statement. It's the mission, the reason for the wisdom, the reason for being unsurpassed. It's all just to get to this goal. That final line isn't the punchline, it's the entire foundation. And there you have it. The transformation is complete. What started out sounding like the world's biggest boast is actually a really profound promise. It's a declaration of peace, and it's made by the one person who, in this context, has the actual ability to deliver on it. Which, leaves us with a really interesting question to think about. Where's that line in our own lives? The line between ego and responsibility. When does being really good at something, or having authority, stop being about you and start being an act of service for everyone else? It's definitely something to chew on.